All right, so this is the finance tracker. So this is where you're gonna keep track of all your money, what's going in, what's going out. So if you haven't been doing this up to this point, it's a great time to start just to know exactly where your money's going, right? So just to kind of breeze through this really quick, it's gonna show two graphs off the get-go. I'll show what these look like in a moment. It's gonna have income and expenses. Now, just like I mentioned in the fitness tracker, or sorry, the project management tutorial, if you do not pay for Pro, which is like $10 a month for the Notion plan, you won't be able to see this data in the charts. It only allows one chart per account. So if you do decide to upgrade, like I said, 10 bucks a month, these will populate for you automatically, but I just want to flag that as well. But yeah, if we go down here, this is the money tracker. So this is where you're going to be entering in everything that's going in, everything that's going out is going to happen on this page here. And then we scroll down a little bit. This is your expense sheet. So anything that's recurring on a monthly basis, bi-weekly basis, this is where you're going to track that. So that could be your internet, could be electricity, credit card payments, your rent, your water, any software that you're using. This is going to be where you want to enter this in. And then on the left-hand side here, this is going to be your balance. So this is going to be automatically going up and down. You're not going to have to touch this once you enter it in once. That's good. And then your income sources. So, I mean, this is your day job, what you do for a living. It could be a truck driver, it could be working at a, McDonald's, for example. And then if you have any other income sources, maybe you run a Shopify store, or maybe, you run a professional lemonade stand, whatever it might be. This is where you're going to enter that in for income sources. And then expense sources, same type of thing. So I've already added categories, things like living expenses, software, food, clothes, upgrades around the house, like if you're buying couches or TVs, health, like skincare, vitamins, etc., education, entertainment, credit cards. So you can kind of add, and delete whatever you see fit. Let me just delete this really quick. If you want to delete, just click that little on the side here, click that, and you can either click the backspace button or just click delete. So let's say you want to add a new expense source. You don't see it on the list here. You want to call it custom, for example. Boom, there it is. And that's all you have to worry about. And then same thing for for the income sources. If you had a lemonade stand, perfect. I didn't spell that right. Perfect. Okay, and there you go. And you can change the icons as well. I'll share details of that in a future video, but that's pretty much how that works. Okay. So I'm going to delete that. Now first thing, as soon as you open up this dashboard, the very first thing you're going to do, excuse me, is on the total balance section, you're going to click this, and this is where you're going to put your starting balance. So first off, make sure the created date is today. It might be some other date by default, but just make sure it should be highlighted in red on the calendar. Just click the starting date. That's when you're starting this dashboard. It's very important. And then the only entry you're going to have to worry about on this sheet is the starting balance. This one right here. So this is what's in your bank account as of today. So let's say it's 10 o'clock at night, nothing else is coming in, nothing else is going out. My balance is at $10,000. Exactly. That's what you're going to put in, and you're set. Completely set. Okay. So let's start adding in some data in the money tracker. So Monday rolls around, the next day, very day, and first thing in the morning, you got paid. Okay. You got your paycheck. So what you're going to do is you're going to click new page. And you can call this whatever you want. This is on the income screen, by the way. So actually, before I do this, I just want to really quick. You have different tabs here. The one with the plus icons, that is income. That's things coming in. The ones with the minus, that's going out. Okay, expenses. And then these last tabs are just viewing it on a monthly basis and viewing it on a all together. But you're really just going to be focusing on these two, the plus today and minus today. So let's carry on. I got paid today. We'll call this work. You can call it whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. I got paid $7,000 at McDonald's. Not too bad. Date. If you're doing it every single day, it should be the same day. So just click that. It should be the day that you're entering this in. By default, the incomes, anything on the income section, the plus today, that's going to be with an income tag. Leave that as is. And then for income source, you're going to want to select where it came from. So in this case, it was McDonald's. Income type, work. You can add more, call whatever you want. That's no problem. And let's say I also got paid a little bit of a check from Shopify. So I run an e-commerce store. We could just call it e-commerce. Let's say I got paid $500. I made a couple sales, and same thing today. And this one came from the Shopify account. and e-commerce tag, and boom, there you go. And if you notice on the left-hand side here, my total balance, that went up by $7,500 automatically. It was at 10K, now it's at 17,500 because the system automatically syncs. And let's just say, excuse me, I also went for lunch at noon. So that's an expense. So I'm gonna go to the minus today tab. I'm gonna click new page. I'm gonna call this lunch, for example. Let's say it was 50 bucks. Same thing today. Expense, it's gonna be automatic expense, so you don't have to worry about that. Expense source, it's gonna be food. And expense type, same thing. Select whatever you want. That's not really too important. It's just for like visual purposes, but select food. And then let's say I also got gas. So I can just call this gas. I spent 100 bucks on gas. Expense, this one I guess I can call, I probably should have a different one for this, but let's just call living expenses for now. And then give the gas tag, and there you go. I got 2 entries for expenses and 2 for income. So now if we go to the months tab, the plus and minus, this will show you just like an organized view of everything that came in August and everything that was going out in August. And it'll kind of just show you a nice row just to kind of keep it a little bit organized. And here is the all tab. So this will just show you everything in the month of August. So all the expenses, everything going in and going out. You don't have to fill in this. This is automatic. It's just like a filter view. So you can kind of see here what everything looks like. Now, really quick, you can also do like past dates. Let's just say I was a little bit lazy for a couple days and I didn't do anything in the last week of July. What you can do is, let's just say there was a paycheck from my e-com store. And again, you can call it whatever. It doesn't have to be the same thing. Just call it anything you want. I got paid $1,000 and the date was, like I said, last week in July. So let's go 26th. You're gonna notice it's gone. It disappeared. Where'd it go? That's because I have a filter on both of these screens for today, plus and minus, that it's only gonna show the date of today, which is August 2nd at the time of me filming this video. So if you change the date to some future date or previous date, it's gonna be gone, but that's no problem. You can just go to the all section and you can see here in July, like here is all of them that I had just from August 2nd, but here's my July 26th one. There it is. So you can finish editing here. Income sources, this was Shopify. Income type, work. Ignore this because it's not an expense, right? You can just let that be. But yeah, that's how you can kind of go back. In case it's gone, you don't know where it went, just go to the all tab, it'll be there and you can finish updating it. And then same thing for expense. Let's just say we're talking about a future date. My wedding, okay, this cost me $10,000, pretend, and this was in the future sometime. Oops, it's gone. Where did it go? No problem. Go to the all tab and just go to the month that you entered it in. There's September and you'll see it. Oops, sorry. And you can continue to update it. And remember, this is an expense, so don't worry about the income, expense, expense what you want. We'll call this miscellaneous for now. Expense type, relationships, I guess I can create. Click enter and boom, there you have it. Or alternatively, what you can do if you don't want to do from this view, if you just click like where the wedding is, just hover over it, click the open, you can enter in all this stuff here as well, okay? And again, just ignore income because that's not what this is. And yeah, that's pretty much how that works. So if we go now to the plus and minus months view, we'll be able to see in July and August everything that we did. And same thing for expenses for the month of August and September, everything that went out. And then all will show you all the different views for all the different months, and you can simply toggle each month if you just don't want it to be messy. Close the ones you're not really looking at, but even then it'll kind of sum up what your profit was that month. So I was negative 10K in September, but I was plus 7,300 in August and plus 1,000 in July. And as you can see, my balance is continuing to update with plus and minus. And then here, if you do pay for the pro plan, this will kind of show you what this looks like. So if I go this year, for example, it'll show me a visual as to how much I've spent. So 10K was on miscellaneous, that's went out, and then I had a little bit of money for living expenses and food. On my income, I can see that I've made 8.5K up until this date. Most of it came from McDonald's and a little bit came from Shopify. So it's just like a nice little visual that I like to have, but like I said, really not necessary. And that is essentially the money tracker. So just like the others, I assume you're going to be playing around with it at the beginning. So once you kind of get the hang of it and everything's working, what you can do is just go to the All tab, toggle them down, and just delete. Toggle it, delete, toggle it, delete, and now if you notice, it's back to what it used to be, and you're back at that 10K balance. So that's how you use this. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video.